So let's talk football. Why not? The NFL season kicks off in just a couple weeks, and that means that millions will be playing fantasy football. A recent study found the average fantasy team owner spends about 8 hours a week, including for those at the workplace, putting together their lineups, making trades, and keeping track of games. And I have to wonder they're not really putting as much time into planning their retirement. Now, I mentioned you guys being caddies of sort earlier. You certainly coached a lot of clients. Please give our listeners the main reasons to bring you guys on as their financial advisor.
Well, when you look at that fantasy football, spending 8 hours a week, including 4 hours at the workplace, that's a lot of time people are working. Fall's a great time. I definitely love football during the time.
Yeah.
I don't play fantasy football.
Yeah, I like the draft more than I like the weekly changes.
I do love to see the good old Buckeyes and my Steelers win some football. And, if I can spend some time with friends and family watching some games, I think that's good. But, when you're looking at this, whether it's hiring a coach and looking at the terms of, utilizing a coach, I think there is a tremendous amount of value, when you work with somebody like a financial advisor as your coach. I know my son is an example who plays hockey. There's a lot of great takeaways that he gets from the coach. He knows where, the areas he needs to focus on. He knows where some of his weaknesses are. He gets some outside perspective on things that maybe he didn't identify. It's sometimes hard as a parent to coach your own child, and having a professional can do that. We do run into a lot of people that maybe are what I call do-it-yourselfers. They like to manage their own money. Maybe they've done things themselves for a long time. Getting together with us can be a great way to kind of have a second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the biggest area I think of people that we add value to with are people that have, just gone about their normal 9 to 5 day, and they've worked hard and saved and built up a nice retirement account through a 401k, maybe a pension plan. Maybe they've never met with a financial advisor. Maybe they have a financial advisor, but they are, looking for a second opinion. Those are the type of people that we can kind of help put together, because it's in those situations where I think developing a plan is crucial. And you think about the success of, building your fantasy football league, or even the success of the coach, it really comes down to the game plan.
Right.
Having your game plan ready before game day.
Right. And what type of team do you want to be? Are we focused on defense or offense? Kind of exactly. Looking into what are some of the things that we're going to take into the season, if you will, that are important to us. And like you said, I'm thinking back to the few times that I've played fantasy football. There are a couple of things. I mean, every person's different, but there usually are a few things that everybody tries to go for first. To get your running backs in, and then your wide receivers, or whatever your strategy is. But going into it, having a strategy. And I think also taking a look at your finances and just understanding what it costs you to live is kind of like taking an assessment, looking at what are all the players out there that I could possibly have. What are my top priorities as it pertains to choosing players? Well, what are my top priorities as it pertains to my retirement planning, my goals? Are they wants? Are they needs? Or are they wishes? I wish I could get this player. No, I need this player. So I think that's one of the things too, Nolan, that we help our clients understand the difference between wants, needs, and wishes. And there's trade-offs, right? There's a trade-off. If you take a player in the first round versus if you have to take somebody else in the second or third round, there's trade-offs associated with every decision that you make. So the financial planning process, the way I approach it, is it lets you kind of simulate the scenarios and the implications of the decisions that you make before you actually pull the trigger and make the decision, so that we know before what we decide to do, we know what the outcome could possibly be, and then we'll assess from there.
Yeah, so, with football season right around the corner, hopefully you've got some good picks if you're doing the fantasy football. But, regardless of that, having a financial coach can be very valuable in assistance and guiding and really preparing you for navigating your retirement years. Number one, you can get personalized retirement planning advice. They can work with you to create a personalized plan based upon your unique family situation, your preferences, estimate how much you're going to need, develop a budget, help you maintain your investment strategy. Work on goal setting. Don't just show up on game day, but develop goals. And your financial coach is going to help you clarify what those retirement goals, whether it's traveling or maintaining a certain lifestyle, looking at leaving a legacy. Developing your strategy. So what are the plays that are going to help you possibly win the game? Retirement income strategies, developing the ways to what we call optimize things like your Social Security, your investment accounts, putting everything together in that comprehensive plan. Providing you ongoing guidance. So when you're actually in the game and it's game time, sometimes helping you get your head back in the game. If the market's acting a little bit crazy, coaching you and giving you guidance to get through some of those tough times.
Yeah.
Looking at things like healthcare planning or tax optimization, looking at Social Security maximization, giving you coaching all the way and giving you regular check-ins, like taking those breaks during the different in between periods and talking about how to reassess where you're at, how to either stay on track, maybe to add more defense or add more offense in based upon how the play is going and, your end goals of where you want to get into play. Yeah. So the last thing that we do is a lot of financial education and keeping you educated about the way. So we'd love to help you out. Again, take that next step. Come out to one of our upcoming events. That information is available for you at arhq.com.
A lot of great events there available. Hopefully one that fits your time and schedule. And if you can't make one of those, you can always come into the office and speak with them as well. You can schedule it right there at arhq.com or give a call, 419-794-3030. Another thing that the guys do when it comes to retirement and continuing this fantasy football is this analogy is letting you know when it's time to maybe bench a player or maybe pull a player off a bench or something is working better that you hadn't thought about. Neither Nolan nor Chaz, and I dare say most of the guys at America's Retirement Headquarters, they don't focus on fantasy football. They're pretty busy helping you out, helping you in the financial coaching aspect, and they'd be happy to get started with you. Again, the number 419-794-3030.